Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner and I'm here with Matt Murray.
Welcome.
I'm also here with James Farley.
Hello.
No John Denton this week. He's busy. He can't make it, so we can all relax.
We had to
no
let him
threats
go.
of violence this week.
We had to let him go. He was getting too big for his boots. Like 3 episodes in, he's like calling for my head. Forget it.
Yeah,
I
mean, what do you really think? Now he's not about. What do you really think of him, Matt?
You a prick, John.
Do you think he's a prick? Yeah.
I don't want to say like.
I'm annoyed that he's left me with the fucking the letters and emails and stuff again.
That was the thing. When John said, I can't do it because I'm like too big for this show, you know, whatever I say goes. Like James, the first thing James said was, "Oh, don't tell me I have to do emails and tweets again."
Yeah, James, mate, honestly, come on. We've done this a million times. It's like just cut and paste. Like, James just thinks I don't know who he thinks he is. You just do your fucking job. It's getting embarrassing now. Blah, blah, blah. We've done it.
It's all done, but I've done exactly what John usually does. I've been selective this time.
Whoa, hello. You've actually put some effort in. Yeah. Fucking hell.
It's a new James Farley.
It's a new James
Consequently,
Farley.
we've only got 2 tweets and 1 email, but it's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, last one. You still have to make a choice though, James.
For the record, I think John's great. Right, should we get on to feedback?
We know that.
Scared.
So I just don't want to have to. I'm seeing him in a couple of weeks, and I don't want my neck to be snapped.
You know, I'm seeing him in a couple of weeks too, and I've always had respect for John.
If you don't see a meme, like in 3 weeks' time, if you don't see a meme on our Twitter account, then Matt is definitely dead. He has definitely been killed, and he's buried under.
Actually, I want to take a
John's
picture of John
body.
choking me out and use that as the meme. But,
come on, let's go. What you got for us?
Got lots to follow up this week. One of which was obviously a couple of weeks ago. John's like, send me emails about games. People then send an email, say about Crackdown or Overwatch or whatever, but actually John wanted games. I went through the archive, and what I mean by that was that Adam Capone reminded me that he emailed me in September last year with an amazing game, and now we're going to play that very game. The game is called, and this is Adam. This is the email Adam sent. And Matt, I'm only sending this to you.
This is an email that Adam has sent.
Yeah, it's a very, very long name. He said, I thought I'd send you a nice, fun game to play on the show. If you were ever to have an episode where you go on and on and on about one game. I'm not sure if that's a personal dig. Anyway, the game is called Guess the Game or Series by hearing random bits of information from its Wikipedia page. 5 rounds. Each round is a game or game series with 3 facts. After each piece of information, each player can name one game or game series.
Hang on. Hasn't he ripped this off from IGN Game Scoop? Because they do something very similar on that.
Well, possibly. I mean, maybe the answers will be the same.
No.
I mean, I've never listened to that, but look,
there's 5 rounds, 3 facts. It's a game or game series. After each fact, you can guess. Okay, round 1.
Right, whoa, slow down. What's the structure here?
Basically, there's 5 rounds. I will give you.
No, I get that. No, you're
facts.
just saying things again, right? Is it aimed at one of us, and then the other one, or we can all answer, or what? What's the deal?
So it's for each of you to answer. After each bit of information, one of you can guess, and then if any of you get it, in turn. So you first, then James, or whatever, and then we'll flip. I don't know.
Well, you got to be a game show host here, Matt. You got to be better than that.
We're going to change it. First one to after each fact. First one of you to give me an answer. If that's right or wrong, we'll move on.
That's completely changed what you said. Okay, fine.
Okay, did I mention 5 rounds? Okay, anyway. Round 1, fact 1. Okay, this is the first fact about game or game series. The first game was released in 1987 for the MSX.
Oh, go on.
Either one of it? Any one of you?
Double Dragon.
No. Metal Gear?
Yeah, Metal Gear, yeah.
Okay, next. Well done, James.
The other facts for that were other changes to the series were made as a result of the 9/11 attacks, and the third clue was, although the trailer presented the game as being developed by Moby Dick Studio. Round 2, I think this is an easy one, so stand by your buzzers. First fact is Ninja of the Nth Dimension.
Oh, what was that? Zool. It's Zool.
Yes, yeah. 2-0 Farley. Come on, Dave, you really got to pick up the 5 rounds. Okay. Round 3. Dave, you still there?
Yeah. No,
okay, cool. I just wanted to check your buzzer's working. Okay, round 3, fact 1. Each layer, this is a quote, each layer which had a distinct look or design.
Say that again.
Each layer which had a distinct look or design.
Magnetic. What? I don't know what. That's not a
Look,
fact.
I'm just reading from the email. Okay, right. Fact 2. James,
well, no,
anything?
hold on. James can guess.
No, I've got nothing. Go on.
Okay,
No, go on.
Fact 2. The game setting was a featureless and minimalist white room.
Unfinished Swan.
No. James?
Nope, still got nothing.
Okay, fact 3. When it was suggested to him that he should tone down the enthusiasm, he responded, I don't want to believe less in something. I want to believe something is worthy of the emotion behind it.
Right, so it's
Something
got to
to
be
David Cage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be Beyond Two Souls.
It's not David Cage.
Oh,
Oh, right, it's a Peter
Okay.
Molyneux game then. Fable.
No, I mean, the
Black and white?
first fact was each layer had a distinctive look or design.
What, the Cube game? Curiosity.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Round 4. Okay.
Right, okay, Matt. Okay, you're
What?
not the best host. I'll give you that. Round 4. That is not. You got a G. You've got to sort of
If it's
like
up
put
there,
some
Dave, I'll give him the money myself.
personality
Round 4. That was, yeah. I mean, I might skip round 4 because the clues are so shit. No one's ever
just
going to
do
guess
the
it.
clues because this is.
Okay.
Remember, listeners, Capone wrote this.
this
Yeah,
is why
good
we
fact.
don't. This is why we don't do games. Because just go on, get on with it.
I like games.
Yeah, I'll keep up with the games. Fact 1. You let your hair down and play to the fans. That must be a fact or a reference to this series.
You let your
Guitar
hair down
Hero?
No?
and play to the fans. You let your hair down and play to. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
No.
No.
Fact
Just
2.
another clue. Go on.
This is another quote, I believe. I guess in this case it's like a soundbite anyway.
Okay.
Passes to Rupert, passes to Gibson. Oh, it's in the back of the net. I don't believe it. They've scored.
ISS 98.
No. But obviously you're on the right track.
ISS 64.
No. Okay.
That was the shittest. You would have given it me.
I mean, you're a goal-scoring superstar hero. I mean, Adam,
Right, so
I think this is way too hard. But
Hold
okay.
on, it's not Pro Evolution Soccer then. It's
No,
got to be.
I'll give you a clue. Think older than that.
Striker. Kickoff.
90 minutes.
Some of you
Should-
just
Sensible
keep guessing.
soccer. Sensible
Yeah,
soccer.
sensible soccer. Yeah, it's 3.
Yes.
It's
No
3-1.
way can you get. No, you said one each. We were both
Good
wrong
point.
there.
I am the worst host. I was like changing the rules on the fly. Final round.
And then when one of the contestants complained, go
Right, Matt,
back
what's the score? What's the score, Matt? What's the score?
It's 2-1 to James.
It's 200 James, right? But and this is final round because there's 5 rounds in this game. And what I'm going to do double points for the final round. So you can come back. Okay.
I love the fact that Matt has gone from like a game show host to like a Del Boy type now. And I'll tell you what I'll do now. Double points this
Tell you what,
round,
fucking
alright?
do,
I don't know why I went in the script, but fuck it, let's go.
Right, okay. Fact 1. On the game's original release, Edge awarded it a score of 9 out of 10. But in 2013, with the benefit of hindsight, the magazine concluded that it should have received its highest score.
Dark Souls. Dark Souls.
No.
Oh, fuck. I thought they gave it 9 and then increased it to 10.
It's another clue. Go on.
Fact 2. Some levels begin in lifts and feature transitions from elevator music to full soundtracks.
Mass Effect.
No.
Fuck.
No, go on. More.
Okay,
James is biding his
final
time.
fact, final round, double points. You could both take the prize. If you go. The zoomable sniper rifle was praised as one of the game's most impressive and entertaining features.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, done it. You've won.
Oh, this is bullshit.
I come out of nowhere there, James. I come out of
That
nowhere.
was unbelievable.
It's
Dave, you won a
ridiculous.
speedboat.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Okay. I mean,
I'd like
it's
to
a
say-
great game. Adam, I hope you're happy. Listeners, feedback. Just drop some feedback for next week's show. I thought it was fine.
I just want to say, James, unlucky, mate. You played well there, but you lost. And as it just goes to show that why I'm the main one, I guess, doesn't it? Eh?
Just,
Yeah, you really fucked that,
just a
James. Like,
stupid
Dave
games.
said ISS Pro, and you're like, ISS Pro 64? So, maybe think something else, I don't know. Okay, Proper feedback.
Just a stupid
Adam
game.
Lake to the Party 82, your friend of mine. I'm glad I annoyed JSK Farley with the FIFA price drop tweet. I mean, there are loads of people. And even now, I mean...
There's been some more as well.
How many have you got
went...
this week? You've got more than you were originally complaining about, right? Because I've seen it all week.
It wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I mean, it was a bit of a deluge. But,
listeners.
That sounds like a challenge.
Listeners, let him know.
It started to pick up again a couple of days ago because they discounted it in the what's it called, in the App Store, in the the Switch eShop as well. So
The App
got quite
Store.
a few then as well. I don't know what's going on. It was
The App Store.
Have we got to the point now where James is really turning into a delirious old man? Like, he's
But he normally gives up around
I don't
questions.
know what's going on anymore.
But not feedback. He's given up so early in the game. It's just like, ridiculous. Next bit of feedback. Sean A.K. Vamos of the Discord immensely enjoyed the Shadow of the Colossus discussion last week. I rarely play old games, but this, Ico and Metroid Prime are the only games I go back to every year or so and immerse myself in. There's an atmosphere to all three of the worlds that few games ever get close to. Semi-deserted, imaginative places that you feel connection to and want to learn more about. He said, it's a huge email. I said, seeing the footage of it remastered now, it still makes me feel like someone went into the future and brought that game back with them. It's gaming Citizen Kane, in his opinion, years ahead of its time. Normally when you play enough of a game, you can see the programming under the surface, like when you walk into a big room and know a boss is coming or twinkling bit of rock indicates you can climb the surface. This game had none of that. It feels so organic. I always remember getting to that flying Colossus and thinking, well, it's not going to let me get on it, is it? And you do, obviously. So it's fascinating to hear your views on it, James, given
I think I'm going to be upsetting him a bit later.
Imagine if it didn't let you get on them. The whole game, you just looked at them and then moved on. One thing you can say about those games, but I mean, whether you like them or not, and I understand if you don't, I mean, I certainly didn't like The Last Guardian, for example. They are, like, completely unique. They feel so different to everything else, especially when Eco come out. It was kind of like, this is unlike anything I've ever played. It's so different to what I'm used to playing. It was really striking. And that's why I think so many people sort of fell in love with that style. Because it was just, I mean, it looks stunning for the time anyway. But yeah, it was just so unique. Yeah, it's no surprise that it's got like people that fell in love with it like the way they do. Yeah. Okay.
Sean also finishes up by saying, by the way, not expecting this to be read out as it's a bit Kane and Rince, but it's a title close to my heart and I really want to join in the loving. Yeah, it is a bit Kane and Rince, but we'll let that slide because it's not actual Kane and Rince. Because it wasn't boring as fuck. The Nick Parton. The Nick Parton tweeted, which is fine. He's at Fire Excuses on Twitter. Obviously, he did that amazing mix, that rap, which he pieced together from myself and John's conversation a couple of weeks ago. That's still in our Twitter feed somewhere to, pick it out. He says, props to JCA Farley and John Denton for shouting out Uncle and Elliot Smith respectively this week. And Darren Gargett joined in and say, I did say out loud, yes, James, when he mentioned Uncle, science fictions, he's not all grumps. So,
just as a correction, I mentioned Jesse Hughes' debut album on that section. That debut album is actually terrible. I was actually thinking of Benji Hughes. It's very similar. Easy mistake to make. So sorry about that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't get any tweets about Dave's choices there, but surprising.
Go on. Dave.
SMW at Oostivu. On Twitter. Often Computer Game Pod feels like it's really well scripted narrative of story arcs and going on narratives akin to the old days of WCW/WWE. But I can never quite tell if James is in on it or just seriously fed up. I mean, I did respond saying yes, he is just genuinely annoyed.
I'm not really sure, to be honest, sometimes. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sure because I swear to God, those of you that know the show know the fact that the arguments we have are real. It's not like we're saying, yeah, come on, I'll take this side and you take that side. But the idea of the show is that there's no filter. Like, people are saying, sometimes we get accused of just like getting too angry with each other and stuff. But the fact is, is that even in the closest group of friends, there are things that piss you off about them. But because you're friends, you put that filter up and say, okay, I'm just going to let that slide and I'm not going to call them on it and blah, blah, blah. Here, we're allowed to say what we want, and we've all got the understanding that we're allowed to say what we want, and if, don't take it personally is like the idea. I don't think James takes it personally. I think you battled with that at the start, right, James? If we're being honest, you battled with like the sort of brutal honesty and, quite vicious.
Maybe for the first sort of 80 episodes or so, yeah. But,
yeah. But the thing is that James doesn't want a podcast. He doesn't want to do this. He's one of the hardest people that I've ever had to podcast with, like, without a doubt. You get that whole, if someone gives a hint that they might not be able to make it, James is straight in with actually, yeah, I could do without it this week. Like, and it's just, it's constant, I don't have to do this, do I? It's like, no, you don't, James. Why don't you just fuck off, like, and not do podcasting anymore? Why do you do this?
It annoys you, which is enough for me, to be honest.
No, if it genuinely annoyed me, I'd just say, okay, you're not doing it no more.
I know,
I've got that power.
I know it sort of razzes you off a bit, so it's it's quite fun sort of doing that. Yeah.
Razzes me off. What does that?
Is that what it does to you, Dave?
James is definitely. I tell you what, Matt, I'm bloody razzed off right now. If I'm being honest with you, bloody razzed off.
I'm razzing myself off right now. It's insane.
All over the sofa. Go on.
Okay, and then obviously got loads of feedback about our Razzed live show that we announced last week. We are doing a live show on Sunday the 15th of April at 4:30. Get tickets now at egx.net/Razzed. We're doing it.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the more excited I am about the whole thing. There's so much that I want to... there's so much I want to do. Like the stuff we've been saying to each other, like how excited we're getting in the WhatsApp group and everything. People have been saying that they're getting tickets and they're coming along, and I'm excited for actually our listeners actually being able to see it live. I'm going to try my best to get Chris Bratt to give us one of the most embarrassingly flattering intros on stage as I possibly can.
I was going to write sort of like a 10-minute monologue, like the start of the Oscars.
Yeah.
You could read that, like wearing a suit, wearing a full tux.
I don't think they make him in his size, to be honest with you. They'll have to get one off for like a ventriloquist dummy. But we're really excited. So please, if you are free on that Sunday, what is it, the 14th?
15th.
I'm that excited. I don't know the date.
Come on the 14th.
Sunday the 15th. If you are free, please come to Razzed because we'd love to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get down there.
Tendo Pete started with a great way to start my 30th birthday, a new Computer Game Pod episode, great announcement about the live show. Please can John Denton choke out Matt Murray at the live show for all to see, and of course video. He wasn't the only one who mentioned that. David Rush, does the Res ticket price include a choke out by John Denton? I mentioned it was a tenner, and then MS Ranger said, Matt, you mean Matt pass out for a tenner, take my money. So
can I ask you a question, right? Is this fantasy you've got, is it better if people are watching you like doing this, or is it
I didn't anticipate that, but I
just said that we'd never get away with doing it at a live show, but could you imagine what a way to end? I'm wrapping up saying thanks for everyone coming today, and we've really enjoyed it. And just without mentioning it, you two just get up, walk behind me, and then John just chokes you out. You're unconscious, and we all walk off stage and leave you there. Or maybe I drag you off from your ankles.
Yeah, it's really dangerous to do that. When I was at university, me and my mates were obsessed with UFC, and we had 101 best knockouts in UFC, and we were always watching that and stuff. But we also obsessed with trying to choke each other out. So actually thinking about it now, this has been a fantasy for a long time. And my mate Liam was always trying to do it to me. It never worked. We did it to my mate Robbie in a club, and he went out. He's on the floor in a second, and he had a bit of a mini fit, and we absolutely shit our pants because apparently it's super dangerous. And also you could literally shit yourself, and we should didn't anticipate. He didn't do that. Obviously Robbie doesn't listen to this. It doesn't matter. But yeah, choking out is dangerous. That's the moral of the story.
I can't see it happening at the live show, but I've got a feeling that in a few weeks there will be a video on our Twitter feed.
I'm not sure about it anymore. Anyway, loads of people wanted to join in and watch me get choked out. We'll see. Phil Kin, how much for a selfie with James looking completely disinterested, or go on Matt's electric skateboard? I mean, I think we should definitely have like a queue of get a selfie with James. James looking pissed off.
That's
James,
fine.
you are going to have to when we did the Joypod meet, people were taking photos with us and stuff. You are going to have to do that at some point. You know that, right?
That wasn't part of what we talked about, to be honest.
I think we should have like a signing tent. And it's just James.
Get them to queue up.
Yeah.
I'll sign copies of FIFA. I could do that. That'd be fine.
Oh my God, bring copies of FIFA for
Everyone
him to
bring
sign.
your copies of FIFA. Yes, please.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
James could price it up.
Amazing. Adam Capone tweeted, it's incredible how this is all naturally lined up to coincide with your 100th episode. And it is unbelievable. That will literally be a 100th episode.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's happened, but that's how it is.
Yep.
Shawnee Boy, he says, my issue is that it's a Sunday and there'll be a billion low mates. I mean, he's not the only one to say that. But basically, there are loads of people from our Discord going, loads of people who've tweeted us. If you want to go, but you're worried maybe you haven't got any mates who want to go, or you've never been to a thing like Rez before, join our Discord. There's a tweet pinned to the top of our Twitter account. And there's loads of people there who are going to obviously just go to Rez, go to a live show, meet up, have drinks, or whatever they're going to do, play games together. So if you're thinking about it or slightly worried, there's loads of people in the same position as you. So think about joining a Discord and meeting up with all the other weirdos. Aaron Sutton, I can see what's happening here. John's working on a psychopath gimmick in the run-up to his big Computer Game Pod live match against Matt Murray. Everyone thinks that we and John are going to fight live on stage.
Why is that?
People just assume we're going to fight.
How much we got? Would you go into a ring with John?
No, God, no. He'll kill me.
Really? I mean, but what if he
I'm scared to go to a house with John. At this point,
you got to tone your fucking mouth down, then, Matt. That's the problem. You're talking yourself into this.
He's not going to do anything. Chris Cleveland asking if we're going to record the Razzed live show. Yes, it'll be streamed apparently on the Eurogamer Twitch or whatever, and also on the Eurogamer website. But
no, you don't want to tell them that, do you?
Of course,
you want to make sure that
of course we'll put it out as a regular episode.
Right, okay. You've just stopped a lot of people coming because they're like, oh, I'll just wait for it. It's like the whole PS Plus thing. I'll just wait for it on PS Plus. No, they'll be going, oh, I'll just wait for it on the fucking podcast feed or whatever. I'll wait for it on YouTube.
Well, you can do that if you're an idiot. And that's it for feedback. Thank you ever so much for everyone leaving comments and feedback. If you want to tweet us, it's at Computer Game Pod, or you can email feedback and questions to thecomputergameshow@gmail.com.
The overwhelming feedback for the live show has been, oh, why has it got to be in London? Well, I don't know, mate. That's where Razzed is. I mean, I don't know why people don't get angry at us because it's in London.
Yeah,
it's the only place that matters anyway.
There, and then we'll do the world tour in 2019. We've got this is like the warm up gig, and then someone will contact us. Just wait.
O2, we've got a few venues for you. We're going to give you the hookup. Right.
House.
Let's get on to news, James. Are you ready for news? Are you prepared for news?
I've got 3 pieces of excellent news.
I've got a free piece of news. Go on.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one is that game concessions are coming to Sports Direct shops.
I mean,
what does that mean?
This is possibly the worst idea I've heard in history of ideas.
Go on. What it's going to mean is it's going to mean that in Sports Direct shops, they will have a small area where there'll be video games.
Basically,
God, yeah,
it's like a deduction of shit shops. It's like a shit shop inside another shit shop. I mean,
hold on, Sports Direct's fine. What's wrong with Sports Direct?
You go in there, it's just shit everywhere. There's usually loads of scallies. There's fluorescent signs. It's just it.
There's fluorescent signs. You got a problem with fluorescent signs?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I try and get in and get out as soon as I can. As soon as I bought all the Reebok trainers.
This is what I'm saying, right? Okay, it's a horrific company. We all know that, and that's all sad and that. But you get some good trainers in there for cheap, and you get some. You want a pair of shorts, mate?
Do you get those big mugs, Dave? Is that what you drink your tea out of every day?
No, actually, no. That's the answer to that question.
Sounds like you do, Dave. You didn't have much of a response to that.
No, I don't. No, I do. But shorts and that and socks, they're brilliant for socks. It's like £1.50 for
Well, there's going to be less socks there now, Dave, because there's now a part of it. It's going to be a little game in there.
Well, the same company, aren't they? They're owned by the same.
Well, not quite. It's so what it is
someone's
Sports
got the
Direct,
same. They've got a stake in it.
Sports Direct own 25% of Game. But this is all part of some. It's an esports deal that they're doing, which is apparently £3.2 million, and it's going. I think they're going to be sports themed, is what the thing is. There's going to be, and they're calling these like gaming experiences instead.
And what? Yeah. What are they calling gaming experiences?
This whole thing, because Martin Gibbs, who is Games boss, has said. He said this is a key part of the business's strategy to move away from selling physical products to providing gaming experiences. And do you remember that before? We talked about that whole thing called Belong that they set up as well.
Yeah, I've seen them crop up now. I've seen quite a few of them. Yeah. So these are like sort of play spaces that they set aside in a game shop for people to play, LAN party games and stuff like that. And every time I've seen one, they've been really busy.
Mm-hmm. And it seems that's what they're planning to do with this as well. And I'd imagine they would be like sports themed or whatever. Like go down, buy some socks, play FIFA.
What are you talking about, sports? Yeah, but no, that can't be it. It'll be esports stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Because with the ones that I saw set up, it was all like Call of Duty and Overwatch and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
That's what I think. I mean, I don't see why this is a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. That's fine. It's just, they're two bad companies.
They are two bad companies. There's no getting away from that.
Yeah, this is really going to make me go in what's more, weird? Definitely.
You know what's weird? It's one bad company where I understand that people shop in, cheap sports stuff, and one bad company where I have no idea why anyone shops there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got no idea where anyone buys games from Game.
I know, that's why they're doing this, isn't it? I mean, that's why they're moving into this, because obviously they've seen the writings on the wall with that, because it's not going to last. And that's especially with when you consider the second story I've got here, which moves nicely into that, which is that Poundland are now selling video games for £5.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I saw the whole, what do you call it? The people going, I thought it was Poundland. And yeah, I know, but we've had to shop in Poundland recently, and not everything's a pound. Like that title's gone. Have you got a list of any games they're selling for £5?
No, but this is how it's working. So all the games are coming from Music Magpie, and you've used this, haven't you, Matt?
Yeah, I sold everything I had at one point.
Yeah, so this is where you like trade in stuff with that, and they give you cash. And they're going to be selling like Xbox One, PS4, PS3, and 360 games at £5 a go. So it doesn't matter what that game is, it will still be a £5. So, but the thing is obviously they don't probably know what they've got in terms of like quality and everything, so they're just putting everything down. So it's kind of a bit of like potluck whether your local shop's going to have anything good or not. It's I mean, it's happened already apparently in 350 shops, but there's more to come.
I mean, fair play. If I wouldn't mind seeing what they have in I mean, I'll be popping in them just to see what games they've got in stock.
Yeah, definitely, especially if it is sort of potluck.
They've been doing that with like DVDs for a long time, haven't they? £1 DVDs and stuff. And every now and then you go in there and there's like a decent film in there, and you go, fucking hell, how are they doing that? And they've all marked up as like being used. But yeah, I mean,
so Dave,
whatever.
Would you rather go in Poundland or Game to buy video games?
Poundland, genuinely.
Sports Direct. Oh yeah, definitely.
Genuinely, because it's all about finding the cheapest stuff, finding a bargain, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I bet the staff in Poundland are just as knowledgeable about the game.
It's a good point. Yeah, whatever next, eh? B&Q selling.
Yeah, I love that.
Lollipops. I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay, so that's that. And then the final story I've got is that PUBG has hit 30 million sold on PC, but the player counts are down. It's
what the player counts down from and to?
Okay, so what's happened is it's the number of active players has sharply decreased on Steam. So the number of concurrent players was at a peak at 3.2 million in January. It's now down to 2.1 million.
That's still an insane amount of people.
But then also, like, there's an argument to be said that actually it may not be because people are not playing it anymore, but it's also because apparently they banned like 1 million people in January alone for cheating. So that's like 1 million people just gone.
You've got that. You've got the fact that people are also playing Fortnite a lot more. Yeah. You've got the fact that it's been out for a long time. It's never going to maintain that.
The hype's going a bit with this now? Because I don't hear as much about it as I did before.
I mean, naturally, of course it will, because the game's been out for so long. You know, the hype around lots of games drops. It's still a juggernaut. It's still an insane amount of people playing that at any one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not a sign of it falling apart. You know, it's I think
still
it'll
like
always
3
be.
times. There's in this Polygon article, there's like a list of the top games on Steam. Like number 1 is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, 1.6 million, and the second is Dota 2 at 556,000. So it's like still 3 times like the amount of even second place game on the Steam rankings. So it's still doing amazingly well. This is always going to happen.
Also, these numbers don't include Xbox either, and that's still...
They don't include Xbox, and obviously, we're pretty sure that it's coming to the PS4 at some point.
Definitely, yeah.
And when it does, then, the player count for that will go up again.
The Xbox strategy is interesting, because obviously it's exclusive, so loads of people bought it on that, because that's, you have a console you can buy it on, but for a few months, or two or 3 months, you could also get it free of every bundle, and now they've announced that bundle's coming back, so I'm not sure from when, but... they've basically announced in the next few weeks, again, every console you buy will also come with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So I think they announced the other day that they've got 3 million players on Xbox. That's not sold 3 million, because it's just 3 million that, obviously a vast majority of that I think has probably come from sales, but also a lot has come from just bundled games. So
well, you say that, but then they'll get a cut of that bundle.
It's still
essentially...
It's hard to say 3 million sold when so many have been given away with the console, but regardless, it's it's interesting, because does that have, like, in-game transactions, like, microtransactions?
It does on PC, doesn't it? Because it has, like, loot crates and stuff, doesn't it? For, like, cosmetic items.
I mean, it's got loot crates on Xbox as well, but the stuff that you get from those loot crates is so poor. Why anyone would actually pay money is beyond me, but...
Yeah, but I guess what we're doing is, like, it doesn't matter if, you give it away, because then they just want to get the play count up to such a point now, while it's only on Xbox. So when it comes to PlayStation, we're probably like, well, that's great, but all my mates already play it on Xbox, so I'll just stay on Xbox. So they want to get the play count as high as possible, really. So, yeah, I can see why they're doing it. It's just interesting.
It's still killing it. So, yeah, you can't complain too much or worry
there's just
too
like
much.
a lot of stuff, isn't there, coming out as well that is doing similar things now, that are like aping it, and like, because there's new Rainbow Six, like Rainbow Six Siege Year 3's just starting, isn't it? Where they're adding new stuff to that.
Yeah,
as well.
they're basically adding Left 4 Dead, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that Rainbow Six stuff, if you haven't seen it, Rainbow Six are doing a Year 3, it's a new mode, but what I don't understand, I mean, it's clearly, oh my god, Man City have just been knocked out of the cup by Wigan.
Have they?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, 1-0 to Wigan. Sorry, it was on in the background.
Why is it on the background?
Because it's just on in the background. I forgot to turn the telly off.
They've only taken the lead. It's not okay. It's at 90 minutes. Yeah, okay.
No. The game's finished.
They've already taken the lead, and the game's ended. It's like, oh no, wait.
Anyway, listen. So Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six Siege. They're releasing a new game mode, which looks incredibly like Left 4 Dead. I mean, really it looks like a Left 4 Dead game. It's about zombies, including special zombies that charge you and pin you down and so on. It looks incredible. What I don't understand is when I was reading up on it today, it's only available for 4 months.
What?
Which makes me think that there's something coming. Like, they're not... For starters, I was surprised they were giving it away for free, which is... Actually, there might not be. I don't think anything's confirmed about that. But everything that has come out for Rainbow Six has essentially been free. You can access it through the game. Yeah, I wouldn't... No, they can't. No, they can't charge for it if it's only available for 4 months. What the fuck am I talking about? So, I've got a feeling that they've got sat in the works here and they're testing the water. They must be, because it's such a wild sort of... It's so different from what Rainbow Six is. For starters, like they even say in the promotional material, you get ready to be firing your guns a lot more than you do in Rainbow Six. Like, Rainbow Six is a slow, methodical shooter. Now all of a sudden you're spraying bullets at zombies and reviving each other and stuff like that. It seems crazy, but it's fucking exciting. And if someone's going to bring that type of game back.
So you think this could be a spin-off like kind of thing, maybe?
I think possibly, or it could be a completely separate game that they've just whacked the Rainbow Six thing on. I don't know. It's interesting. I'll be very surprised if it's just this 4 months with this format, because why would you spend so much time working on this and then just have it up for 4 months?
Yeah, I guess they can say that, see what the hype is, see what the player count is, and if it's big enough, they'll keep it going. It looks fantastic, but from the trailer we've seen, it looks. I can't wait to play it.
Because they've all. I mean, today Ubisoft also have said that there's not going to be another Rainbow Six like anytime soon, because they've got a plan that they're just going to keep running this like for the next 10 years or whatever.
They'll need to cut at some point, because surely they need that fresh start again. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege 2 would have a lot better. Like the launch would be a lot more of a big deal than the first one was.
But that would just fracture the player base.
Yeah. See, I mean,
hold on. What, like any other game ever that comes out? I don't.
No, but maybe they're looking at this as being a bit like an MMO in the terms of like, it can last for like 10 years or whatever. Basically on the same stuff with just sort of iterations on it.
Yeah, without like the massive investment of a new game, they can just keep building on this, build the player base. I mean, like this game felt like a bit of a joke at the beginning. It just wasn't really hitting it, and now. It's doing
what are you talking about? The game was fucking bang at the moment.
The game was good, but like it had a bit of a dogged like start, I think. And now more people playing it, loving it. It's like free weekends, and it's
I'd like to know the player count with that and how healthy it's been through the years. Like at what point it's at now? Because I mean, I always feel like these player counts go down and down. Like there's no big revival, and that was definitely different from the norm. Like with what was it, a year after it came out, it sold more copies than it did in launch week or something, which is fine. But are they still seeing that success? And once that starts to dip, that's when they'll start to think, okay, we need to cut this at some point.
I think the fact they've said it's a 10-year plan now, suddenly, like that clearly shows that the numbers are doing well. It's like that. Obviously, it's doing really well in esports and stuff now.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm so happy for it, because it's fantastic. Like, it's an incredible game. I mean, I find it hard to play these days because it just seems to be full of fucking dickheads that, shoot outside the windows the moment you spawn and stuff like that. Maybe that's less cheating and more me just not keeping up with how that game's played these days. But it feels completely unfair whenever I play it. Whenever I've played it recently, it just feels like I'm getting absolutely smashed the moment I do anything, which is a shame. And it didn't feel like that at the start. It felt like a genuine tense battle full of tactics. Now it just seems like if you're climbing up a wall, someone will pop their head out and shoot you outside, and then you're done. There was none of that at the start, but yeah. Good game, and I'm glad it's still going. But going back to the original story, you were talking about games that are coming out that are taking the shine off of PUBG, and obviously Fortnite's done that to some extent. But John was mentioning that there's a 400-player Battle Royale game coming out. Did anyone know anything about this? Because we won't talk about it if you don't. But
no, I don't know. Well, is that a totally new game? Doing that, we'll save
that for John, I think, because he seems to know a little bit about it. But that just seems mad. That seems mad.
Yeah, that's like mag levels of game, isn't it?
Oh yeah, God, mag. Oh my God, what happened to that? Right, it did come out, didn't it?
It did.
It definitely came out. Yeah.
Came out, no one cared. It was not very good.
Go Team Mag. Right, okay then.
That's it. That's all the news.
Good. All right then. Should we get to what we've been playing?
Yeah.
Matt, I'm interested. What have you been playing this week?
I played a little bit of the Sea of Thieves closed beta this weekend. So I didn't manage to play any of the previous ones, but I did find a few hours on Friday or Saturday, whenever it was, to play this. And I'm really, really glad that I did, actually. So I played a few, Dave, and a couple of randoms, and then you had to go because Harry was poorly, and I just kept playing with the randoms, actually, for another hour or so. Is really, really, really fun. I mean,
what was that guy's name?
Oh my God!
Because we were saying we were getting excited because basically it's
something.
That was it. He goes, I was quite excited because I logged on, and it turns out that people actually do use the public chat in that thing, because you kind of have to. You have to talk to everyone. So if you're going in to a team of pirates with randoms, then you have to.
Yeah, there's no way of doing it, I reckon, without communicating in voice.
Exactly. So people are using the public chat, and that's not something that I've done on Xbox for years, like pre 360 days. There was a time where you would always be in the public chat and you'd always like talk to new people and you would genuinely make friends out of it. It was nuts. And then it got like insane with, screaming and racism and just nasty shit being shouted in your ear and then they introduced party chat and it was like, okay, we're doing that now. That's it. Party chat done. And then you just stayed with your friends. But on this, I've been chatting to people. And the first time, just before you logged on, Matt, I got involved with some French people. There was like a team of French people. And I got in and they were doing pirate noises, but in French. They were talking, doing the gruff voice thing, but all in French. It was so weird to hear.
So what is R in French?
Just R, I guess. But
Le R.
Le R. But it was, so I sort of said, hi guys, does anyone speak English? And they were going, yeah, a little and all
Bonjour.
this. We were sort of chatting, and then one of them come up to me and started playing music to me, and I started dancing, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to make like friends with these people, and we're going to have to try and work out to get over the language barrier and everything. It's great. And then I heard them all talking, the three of them talking all in French and stuff, and then I heard them say, Don Canelmo, and I was like, are they talking about me? Oh, this is maybe, and then they all logged off. I was just on the ship on my own.
Dave, did you hear the word Brexit? And then they just...
but no, so I logged off. I got on with you, Matt, and then I was like, no, let's play with randoms. Like, get out of the party chat. Let's play with randoms and try and talk to people. And then just as I said that, no, that was it. That's what happened. I said to you, we got 2 slots left. Our mates Jay and Zeno are playing Monster Hunter. Let me just go in and see if they could do it. And you went, oh no, I've already launched it. And then where Jay and Zeno would have been, someone called Poops Everywhere.
Yeah. Poops Everywhere's logged on.
That's not.
Yeah.
And we were playing with Poops Everywhere for the next. Well, I suppose it was 45 minutes for me because he
was a really nice guy. Yeah, I was chatting with him about all sorts of stuff after you went. But yeah, so obviously Sea of Thieves, it's like heavily hyped. Loads of people played it and enjoyed it from the betas, and it's out in late March. And it's the fact it's going to be on Game Pass means I'll definitely get Game Pass for a month or two to play it. It looks great, but I haven't really looked into it too much. Obviously, I've seen stuff from E3 and trailers and whatnot. I know it looked good, but I didn't really know about the gameplay loop and how it worked. But it was really, really exciting. So, I know we've talked about this before, but I'll quickly go over it. So you basically go to like these certain islands, pick up missions. All of you in the crew can pick up a mission, and then you can vote for which mission you want to do. Often those missions involve sailing to a certain island, killing, but basically going to that island, using your map to find a treasure or loot on that island, taking it back to your ship. You can keep doing that for as long as you want, and then eventually you can go to another island and essentially cash in all those bounties or whatever they're called. What are they called? They're not quests.
Treasure chests.
They should cash them in and get all the coins, and you use those coins to buy upgrades and whatnot. But that is the core gameplay loop, but it's all the stuff in between that makes it so fun. And there are loads of tasks you've got to do. Like, someone's got to find out where the location is. And so someone else maybe is raising and lowering the anchor. Someone else is potentially steering. Someone else is potentially changing the sails to go into a certain direction faster. What
Matt means then by potentially sailing or steering was when I said, Matt, you steer because, you've not tried it before. Oh, well, yeah, but what is it? Just give me the easiest job. And genuinely in that game, all the jobs are pretty easy, and that's what's the genius of it. Like, it's easy to patch up the boat, it's easy to bail out the water, it's easy to set the sails, it's easy to steer. Right? Matt then proceeded to steer the ship directly into an island, completely fuck up our boat.
I didn't know how to turn so quickly. There's no brake, but no, whatever.
You should have seen it from my point of view, because I was looking at the map, right, and I saw the island and the way the ship was going. I'm going, okay, Matt, you want to steer to the right? Just steer to the right, and then we can load it. Matt, you want to steer to the right? Do you mean west? Just go right. Just go right.
Thing, I was like, give me an actual nautical direction, not left
Why?
or right. I don't know which way you're facing.
No, but I know which way you're facing, dickhead.
But just tell me the company or whatever. It works out
So anyway,
fine.
I'm going steer right, and then as I was looking at the map started shaking. This huge crunching sound happened, and I sort of sighed and went, I'll go and fix the boat. And I went down there was about 5 holes in the boat. And then, this is the problem, I'm going to Matt. Right, Matt, can you bail out the water, please? How do I get a bucket?
But that's the thing. There's two menus on each of the shoulder buttons, and one has items. I think they're both items, but maybe there's a difference. And so I didn't know.
Quest, the right one's quests and stuff. The left one's your actual items.
But you have to go downstairs, lower deck, and then get the bucket from your inventory, get the water, scoop up some water, and then go back on the top deck, throw it overboard, etc. I mean, it's long thing. So I just made sure the coast was clear upstairs. While you guys
How do I do the bucket?
Get in the water out. But yeah, it was really fun, the fact that, and I think one of you, you, Dave, said it was a bit overcooked in that there's always too many tasks and there are crew members. So you're always chopping, changing, and I was like, we've got to raise anchor or lower anchor, and it's really good fun. Did you come across an enemy ship yet? No. So we only did all the missions we did were the same type, which is go to an island, maybe there's a couple of skeletons, you can kill them or not, and then basically dig up the treasure, and that's it. So all the missions are the same. We didn't see any enemy ships. Obviously, none of the other larger mission types. I know there's a massive Sea of Thieves leak in the last week. I haven't really looked into that, but I gather there are many different types of missions and raid.
Well, they've already announced that there's 5 types of missions or whatever.
Yeah, but we just had the simple go there. I mean, but even that was fun, sailing and navigating around, rocks and this and that. But it was obviously, it felt quite basic, but it's still fun. And I reckon, with 4 mates, it'll be amazing fun, especially when there are, when there are enemy ships and potential different mission types and whatnot. But I think it looks absolutely gorgeous as well. I know it's quite simplest, stylized, I guess, graphic style. But it does look amazing, and
it's insane.
You feel brilliant sailing along the sea. I can't wait for that game now. Really,
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I had a feeling that you weren't really enjoying it, because you were saying while we were playing, is this all you're doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, for the beta, but by the sounds of it, there's so much more to it. The only concern that I had is what really highlighted, there was a lot more computer-controlled enemies in this beta than there was in the last one. And the combat isn't actually that fun, is it? You just
it's
basically
really simplistic.
Swiping at them with your sword or whatever.
I wasn't really getting a good hang of that, but...
Yeah, we got killed a couple of times, and it was kind of I don't really understand why this is, what I'm supposed to be doing here, what I'm doing wrong to get killed.
It feels really woolly. There is an aim down sights view for the gun, but feels like if there was a crosshair, I must have missed it, but it just feels like
there's
definitely... I don't know.
There's definitely a problem with the guns in that, not a problem, that they don't want you to use the guns. I mean, you've got 5 bullets, so it's, you can't really, unless there's upgrades for the guns or whatever, the game sort of steers you away from using guns and sort of focuses on your sword. So it'd be interesting to see how different that is when the game comes out, if at all. Because, that wasn't too great. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. And I played with a crew of 4 mates on the last beta. And we lost hours to it. 3 hours straight, and I could have played a hell of a lot more. And that was without all the, the loot, the upgrading and all that sort of stuff. That really had none of that, or at least we didn't experience it from the brief time that we played it. So with all that added on, how much is that going to add?
Yeah,
I think
if
a lot.
There are lots of varied mission types, and there is a compelling sort of progression tree in it. So you want to upgrade this, not want to buy that to upgrade this. Then it looks like great fun. But the fact is, it's on Game Pass. I've got a trial anyway. I've got with my ex, but even without that, I'll happily pay for 2 months Game Pass. And see if people still playing at the end of that, and maybe I'll get it because it'll be cheaper at that point. But I think the fact it's on there means it's it's an easy six or £7, whatever Game Pass is for 2 months, and I'll happily do it.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Really good.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
James, you didn't play it, did you? You wanted to, but there's a massive 8 gig download on the app.
I was going to play it on when was it? Was it Friday night? No, Saturday
Sunday.
night. I was going to play it, and then I started it up, and then it was like, oh, there's a 9 gig update, and I was like, that's not going to happen like in the time that I want to play it. But I'm still going to get this because of Game Pass. You know, I'm going to get the Game Pass for when that comes out, and definitely play it because it does look interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger.
I've also played a bit more Celeste this week. I love that game so much. I think I'm on chapter 4 maybe now. And on the last time I talked about this, I said I basically hated the end of level sort of chase sequence, end of chapter chase sequence, and it's just is absolutely horrific, and it made me want to crawl up in a little ball and cry. There was another chase sequence at the end of chapter 3, but it was nowhere as bad and actually really enjoyable. And yeah, I just think the game is just really classy. That's the word I'm going to use to describe it. I love the music, the style, the platforming, the mechanics. I love the writing, the story. I just love everything about that game, and I'm gonna hopefully keep with it. It's getting difficult, but because the mechanics are so strong and so sound, it doesn't feel out of reach because you know what you need to do. Although obviously there are bits where you're trying to work out how to get to certain places, but generally you know what to do. It's just a case of pulling all the moves together. But yeah, I'm loving that game. I think, and it looks so good on the Switch. I've actually I've played it mostly in a handheld. I think I might have played it once on the actual TV, but it looks so just perfect for Switch.
Cool.
Love it. And
I need to play that. I need to play that.
You should, yeah. I reckon you'd love it.
I'd still probably play it on PS4 though, to be honest, because of the controller. And although you've got a Pro controller, so yeah, go for that.
But yeah, if I had this on PS4, I wouldn't play it as often because I can play this now on the way to work and whatnot. But great game, and I've obviously played more Dark Souls. I have now got to Analondo, so
that is you don't realise how much of a big step that is. You're at a very, very difficult stage now.
Yeah.
This is when the annoying people go, and now the real Dark Souls begins. And that is a bullshit thing to say, but my word, yeah, that is that's quite a landmark.
Yeah, but yeah, so on the stream I did on Saturday night, because I was away on Sunday, but yeah, on a Saturday night stream, which is now on our YouTube channel, just search for us on there. I got through Sen's Fortress. I love that area. That's definitely been my favourite area of the game so far. And what you said, I think, last week, Dave, about it being Zelda-like, I think I sort of agree with you there. Like, the fact you're suddenly in it felt like a dungeon. I mean, it was like it's like a one central internal location, and with loads of tricks and like things you got to learn how the systems work and the traps and whatnot. And yeah, I thought it was absolutely brilliant fun. I absolutely loved it.
I was a big fan of that area when we played it. I will say one thing. Scientologist, he's not exactly the most forgiving person when you're streaming, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a tough taskmaster.
Yeah, I watched him stream just before coming onto this podcast. He was streaming a little bit of Rainbow Six with his mates and everything. And it was actually people from the Discord, like Kieran and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. I mean, they were shooting each other before the rounds had even started, but they were trying to shoot the little the drones that drive past?
Oh yeah,
they were just shooting each other. One of them died. So it was like Rainbow Six Chuckle Brothers. Like, so next time he's having a pop at you, just remind him what he's like at Rainbow Six.
I should check that out. I did retweet his stream, but yeah, Dark Souls still amazing, still loving it, and but I'm looking forward to Analondo, but I've obviously heard lots of things that this is a really tough area, so look forward to seeing what happens. But
I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to be tuning in every Sunday night to watch you play this bit, Matt, because it's
like
my favourite part of the game.
The first enemy. Analondo was your favourite area of the game.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But even like the first enemy I saw, I like, you go into that big courtyard in Analondo, and then I found the bonfire, but the first enemies I saw, which was these huge things, even now I was like, oh god, already feels like a big jump on from Sen's. But
James, that was your favourite area?
It was.
Because I remember you going absolutely mental about the archers.
Yeah, but no, not the archers. I mean, it was the archers weren't actually as bad as I thought they were going to be, because I remember we had those conversations about it, and then they didn't annoy me as they seem to as much as other people. But the Ornstein and Smo thing was, fantastic. It was the best gaming moment I've ever had, nearly. It was brilliant, and that's why it was fantastic.
And was it good because it was really hard, but once you did it, it was satisfying? Or you enjoyed actually battling them?
I enjoyed battling them once I'd figured it out. It was, it was definitely fun. Expect some matches. Expect some messages while you're streaming, Matt. It'd be some motivation.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I've already had that last week, but yeah. And also, just to let you know, so Dave has been editing some highlights and lowlights of my Dark Souls streams. The first of which, what's they called, like successes and
Death and Success.
The first episode of which is now on live on our YouTube channel. Second one's already made, and I watched it today. It's brilliant, and we'll probably put it out next week. But so it does like a 10-minute video of like my early deaths, and I watched both of them today. It's amazing watching my early stuff. I mean, I feel like I have progressed definitely, and so most of my deaths was like me falling off things, or pressing the wrong button, or just like running in without really thinking about enemies and stuff. But yeah.
My favourite, the one that I hadn't seen on the actual stream, was when you didn't realise you were poisoned and chose that time to manage your inventory in the menus. Yeah. And by the time you'd looked back, you were dead. You just dropped dead.
I feel talking to a chat. And I'm like, wasn't aware my life was gradually going down. What a game Dark Souls is.
Speaking of good games, James, you've been playing Shadow of Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus. The Colossi. Go on.
I have. So far, I've beaten 11 of the Colossi.
There's 16 or 15?
There's 16, isn't there?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think there's 16. That rings a bell.
So I've got 5 left. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about with this is I've only been playing this, I had a look at the clock, and it's like less than 4 hours. Is that normal?
No.
Really?
How have you done that many in 4 hours? No, there's no way.
I'm not joking. I'll send you screenshots of the thing.
I smell bullshit.
How have you done them that quickly?
I don't know, but that's what I've done. I'm playing it on normal.
4 hours?
Yeah. I'll send you I'll show you the screenshots of the, what's it called, the
can you send them now, screen. James?
Do you want me to go and do it? Because I can do it right now.
There must be something wrong with the clock then. Does it feel like you've only played it for 4 hours?
Yes, it feels like it's only been about not that long. I mean, because this is what I'm wondering about, whether I'm playing this wrong or something, because basically what I've been doing is...
You had the Game Genie plugged in as well.
Yeah, up, down, left, right, and yeah.
It's action replay. But, no, what I've been doing is I've just, like, gone and fought one of them, and then it sends you back to the temple again, and then it's like, okay, well, the next one is over here. So then I just ride directly to wherever that is, and then do the next one. And it's been really quick, like doing that.
So, right, I've just worked this out. Essentially, you've spent 22 minutes per Colossus.
Yes, that sounds about right.
But and that doesn't include travel time between them.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, do you want me to go and take a picture of the thing? It'll only take me a moment because it's just upstairs.
What benefit is that to the podcast?
Well, no, because it's like, I know you don't believe me for some reason, but it's true.
No, it's not that I don't believe you. I believe that it probably says that on your thing, but I find that's crazy. But whatever. Okay, fine.
So, I mean, the thing is, as I mentioned last week, it looks incredible, but I do have some gripes with it, probably because maybe I've done something hideously wrong. Because, as I said, it seems to be passing by really quickly. And I'm playing this on normal, and aside from 2 of the Colossi, I found them pretty easy, like most of them to take down. They've not really been that difficult. I got one of them, the one in the pit. Do you remember that one, Dave?
Not really, no.
Because that one really annoyed me, because it took quite a long time and I died like multiple times. But that one was difficult, and then
I didn't say it's quite a long time. It took you 22 minutes, apparently. Go on.
Well, no, on average, it was it was more difficult. The other one that was difficult was the one with the eruptions? Yeah, that they have like the
Yeah. The big tortoise thing?
Yeah, that one took me a while as well.
That's great, that one. I really like that one.
That one I kind of felt like I'd done it kind of by luck. I didn't really feel like I'd done it properly, but it was fine. But some of the other ones I've really enjoyed, like especially the flying, the one that flies through the air. I really enjoyed that one.
That's the one that I was talking about last week. Number 5 is just the build up to it. You know, when you're walking into that sort of water area, and then you see it sort of just like in the distance, and you're like, oh my God, that is huge.
Yeah.
And it looks horrific, and it's just sitting there. It's not moving. Like, what the fuck is going to happen? And then it swoops down, and I instinctively, like, I had no idea how I was going to take it down, and I instinctively jumped as it come at me, and then I saw the sort of hair on its wings and was like, oh my God, I'm going to try and cling on to that. And I did cling on to it and flew away with it, and I was like, oh my God, this is just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. That whole bit from the build up to the fight is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, like for that, it was like sort of trying to position myself as well, like, you know, because I found it was best, you know, there's like those sort of like platforms, and you know, between sort of towers, and you're like standing between it, and then it comes flying at you, and you're like, I need to jump at the right moment here, and also like the holding on as it's like flying around, but then trying to get your stamina back. That was the most fun I've had with that. Also the you know, the sort of the eel one as well. That was quite good.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I mean,
I think that was the one where the first. I can't remember if it was that or if I was on my way to that. Where I saw the fact that they remain where they are after you've killed them. Have you noticed that yet?
No, I didn't notice that.
Go back to an area where you've killed one, and it is that's the first time where I really thought about what I was doing.
James hasn't really got time for that because he is speed running this game. So
yeah, that really got me. Like, it put a lump in my throat. I was like, I just saw like the corpse of this huge thing that I've killed, just like on the floor, clearly gathering dust now, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm scum. Like, why am I doing this? That's the melancholy feel to that game. Like the feel, the thing that you see these huge things and you're taking them down and just fucking off to the next one. You don't really think about what you're killing. I think that's the focus of the game. It's like, you play video games, you don't think about what you're killing, and here's a game where you do. And that's mainly done by making everything obviously huge. So, you know, the way that humanity feels like the bigger something is, the more important it is. That's just the way humans look at things. But also that they're so unique. Like, you don't come across another one of that type. And so that just, I don't know, it does something to your brain to really make you think about what you're doing. And then when you notice the sort of repercussions of your actions, you're like, fuck, this is actually pretty dark, really dark. And it fucks your head. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I felt. So I wouldn't say that I felt massive guilt for killing them so far, obviously, because I'm doing it really too quickly. But it's also some of them, like the one in the pit, irritated me, so I didn't feel any guilt at all about killing that. But some of them I have, in a sense, because you just feel they're not really doing anything, are they? Yeah, they're just sort of like, you know, jumping around or whatever, and they're not hurting me or anything. But
no, they only really start attacking you when you go up to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're not like actively going around fucking the world up. They're just sitting there going about their business, and you rock up in their house and try and take them out. It's nuts.
I mean, see, the thing is about like how amazing it looks. One of the things that is really fantastic about that, and one of the things that I kind of feel sad about with it, not because it's a bad game, because obviously it's not, but I just wish after playing stuff like Zelda, and I know it's not the same kind of game at all, like totally it's not, but because it looks so amazing, I just wish that I could explore more, in a sense. Like, that I could like climb some of those mountains and stuff, because they just look so good. Like, everything looks so amazingly good in this game. And but I just feel like what I'm doing at the moment is that I beat a Colossus, I move on to the next, and I don't really feel like I'm properly exploring the world. Is that...
There is stuff... I mean, that's what I said. There is stuff to do. You know, there's ways to get your stamina level up and ways to get your health up and stuff like that through exploration. But I barely did any of that stuff because, the same sort of reason. I was kind of just focused on going to the next Colossus and taking that on, because it is kind of, as I said last week, it is kind of barren, and someone pulled me up on that and said, yeah, well, it is, but I enjoyed that side of things. but which is fair. I mean, each their own. But yeah, no, I understand that criticism definitely.
But it's similar to what was to The Last Guardian in that sense of like.
Whoa.
No. What I mean is like of. Can you just listen, right? No, what I mean is like of how sort of like. There's like a barrenness to that world as well, which is obviously like really, really similar, where you get hints of what there has been there before, that's also very interesting. There's massive structures and everything. And it's
I love that.
It's the same sort of thing about who was here before, what has happened.
Yeah, totally.
In environmental storytelling. I haven't played Shadow, but even Last Guardian, I love that. Trying to, it made you think about what was here, why is this here.
Mm.
Well, that long bridge thing is so haunting, isn't it, to look at? Like I love the way it uses that sort of architecture to sort of really haunt you, because it's essentially a massive field where the sort of main area is, with this really distinct looking bridge that is, obviously from a time past, just like standing in the middle of it. I've mentioned it before, but I've got a weird thing about scale, and that certainly did it for me. It was like, whoa, that just does not look like it belongs there, and it freaks me out a bit. Yeah, it's good. That shit is good. But as you say, you can go travelling for ages and just see forest, and maybe it needed a little bit more of that. But that's not really what the game's about. The game's about your feelings and how you're reacting to doing the actions that you're doing.
I mean, the controls. I haven't really had any problems with the controls. Cause maybe it's because this version has. They've changed them. Like, so apparently I'm using the modern set. For this, and so I don't ever really feel like I'm sort of wrestling with them. I find them generally to be fine, and I know. And again, the music is also amazing when you're in the throes of the battle. It's it's pretty special, that. But I mean, it's just funny because I mean that email, Matt, that you read at the beginning, like where the guy said like how you don't see like sort of the programming under the surface with this game, whereas normally you do. I really felt, but I feel the opposite with this, because. The only times when I felt sort of frustrated is when I've been trying to find one of the Colossi, and it sometimes it sometimes takes a while to try and find where they are, and that has felt like I'm just trying to like find the place to trigger the cutscene, and so that then it will begin, and that's what it is, and that makes it feel more like a game to me than maybe it should do.
When you're playing this game, are you basically just seeing ones and zeros?
Pretty much, Matt. Yeah. It's
just you're Neo in the Matrix. You've got a stopwatch next to you. Yeah. Like, it's been 23 minutes now.
Yeah, James. How long has it taken you to find these Colossus? Like, it couldn't have been that frustrating. It must have taken you about
not long,
30 seconds.
It's a frustrating 6 minutes.
Put it this way, Dave. Put it this way, right? Before we recorded, okay, I downed 2 of them, like in about half an hour.
What, like shots? I down Colossus like
you got another 15 minutes of Colossi now.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
my Colossi, I do my tequilas. Know what I mean?
Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, but it has gone very quickly, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. It just feels a bit weird. But on the other hand, I'm kind of glad that this is my first experience of this, though, because I can't. Because I remember you saying it looked not that great on the PS2, because you originally played it on the PS2, didn't you?
No, PS3.
Oh, on PS3.
I played the HD thing.
How was it on there? Because I remember people complained about the PS2 one looking atrocious. And but I know that had
anyone said it looked atrocious. I think looking back, it looked poor.
But it had like a charm to it and all that kind of thing. But this looks so good now. It's like I'm really glad that I played it like this rather than how it was before.
It looked fine. It looked fine on the PS3. I didn't look at it and think it was a bad looking game in any way. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't an issue. I mean, it didn't look like I wasn't going, wow, holy fuck. Mm-hmm. But I was, I quite enjoyed it, and that was a little bit different because it was still the PS2 game, but just turned into HD, smartened up a bit. But yeah,
if anything, James, you should probably sort your life out, because the world record for this game is 1 hour 27 minutes.
Yeah, you're way behind. Restart now, James.
Yeah, but very good. It's a good game.
Okay, cool. Is that what you've been playing?
Pretty much, yeah.
This could be interesting. I've been playing Yakooza 0, and
I'm dreading this.
So I played a bit today, and it's changed my opinion slightly. But last night I was fully going to come on here and say I think it might be shit. Because
go on.
Because right, okay. So here's what I've done. These are the things that I've done. I've progressed the story. This is it, Matt. The whole story of Yakooza is that you are not actually... can I spoil this bit? I mean, it's right at the beginning. I could talk about the fact that you've... it's kind of about the Yakooza, but it's not at the same time. There's two sort of gangs, if you want to call them that. They're sort of bigger than gangs, fighting over this plot of land in this city. And that stuff is kind of interesting, if a little bit played out too much. Like it seems like they've told quite a short story in quite a long space of time. That's the main plot is quite serious. There's stuff about being set up for a murder. There's this gang doing this and this. There's all sorts of sort of twists to the tale so far. And then there's just wacky shit to do, like, as side missions. There's just, like, really sort of bizarre, weird shit. So far, I've progressed this main quite serious story. And then I've also been a producer on a movie set, like on a TV show set. Yeah. I've found a dominatrix who isn't quite firm enough with her customers, and her customers hate her because she's not good at being a dominatrix. So I've taught her how to be tougher. There's a kid queuing up for a computer game, and he got this computer game, and then he was mugged, and then the person that mugged him got mugged, and then the person that mugged that person got mugged, and I've chased them down, and I've found some dude in a clown suit, which James, is he like the microtransaction guy?
Yes, yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah, that was because I thought that was all a bit weird. But what I will say is that all that stuff sounds great, and it's like, oh my god, you're doing all this like weird shit. The majority of that is you're just hitting X to read the text. Like, there's not much gameplay involved. The combat in it it's just not good by today's standards. It's just not. Yeah, like it's just you hammering a button, and there's times where I want to be more in control. Like, there's sometimes where I'm attacking someone and I just get punched in the back of the head, and it's like, well, in this day and age, if you're about to get punched in the head, there should be some sort of dodge or turn around, and so you could quickly turn around and whack them back before they hit you, or counter as you have with like Batman games and stuff.
You do get those later because you can unlock, like, the combat system does become more.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Later. Like, I've been piling all my money into the combat system at the moment, which is fine. The writing is not exactly fantastic. The producer, the bit where you're the producer, James?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that stuff is awfully written. Like, there's bits where they're saying, okay, you've got... Like, the whole idea is it's telling you phrases that people use on a movie set that you might not know.
Yeah.
But the way the director's talking to you is like, it's talking directly at the player. That's right. Well done. You've got that right. Because on a movie set, when we say a razor ball or whatever, that means a prop that can be eaten or used one time. And you're like, why is that? What is this conversation about now? So there's been all this sort of stuff that I felt, why I'm not actually enjoying playing it. Like, I understand the weird places that it goes, and I guess I kind of like that. And then I played it today, and I did the bit with a kid buying the game. And I actually quite enjoyed it, and it made me laugh at the end. Like, there's a bit, like, it's so stupid. So this kid buys the game, he gets mugged, you chase down the mugger, and you go, hey mate, you just stole that off a kid, give it to me. I haven't got it, I've been mugged. And then you beat him up, and then off you trot again to find the guy that mugged him, and you go, hey mate, you mugged that bloke who mugged a kid, and I'm going to need that back. And then there's a twist at the end with the last mugger or whatever, and that made me laugh. It genuinely made me laugh. When, like, I worked out before it was fully revealed, but when you find out who the person is that stole the game for the last time, it made me laugh. But then there's, like, some weird shit. Like, you've done that side mission, right, James? You must have.
Yeah.
Like, what I don't get is that last mugger shoots you repeatedly, and then all of a sudden you're just like, hey, okay, we're mates. Like, it's just like, the tonal shifts is just so weird.
But that's part of the essence of these Yakooza games, is like that. You have the really serious, like, sort of story side of stuff, and then you have just the weird, wacky stuff.
Which I would appreciate a lot more if the weird, wacky stuff was fun to play.
Well, it
like
depends,
if you were
because,
actually doing stuff.
But the thing is, the other thing you've got to... See, you have to approach this sort of game as well with thinking this is not GTA. Like, this is not like a Grand Theft Auto or anything like that.
Right.
And it's basically, it's not a visual novel, but it is it's a Japanese adventure game, which means that they're going to focus much more heavily on excessive dialogue and also minimal interaction, because that's just the way that they design like that. I mean, Shenmue was very similar in that respect as well. That's just the way they are. They don't. These are the things that you've talked about are things that I also complained about. Like when I played it last year, like when we talked about it on the show, was like the combat doesn't feel like very satisfying, although it becomes more so later on, and also you are basically just sort of like it's like fetch quests. Like you're basically just going from one place to another to read a story. Now, it all depends really on whether those stories are good or not, and they are a bit hit and miss. Some of them are fantastic, some of them are not like that great or whatever. Some of them you're just going to like skip through like really quickly. But the main hook with the game is going to be the main story and the way that's going to develop, because it's probably not going to develop in quite the way that you think it's going to.
Okay, well then I'm willing to give it, based on what I played today, I'm willing to give it a bit more of a time. Sorry?
How many hours have you played of it so far?
Well, it's fucking hard to tell, because this is the other dog shit thing about this game. So last week, I was playing it. I said I'd put in roughly 2 hours. I think it was probably a little bit less than that, maybe an hour and a half. I loaded it up, continued to play, and all of a sudden there was this weird problem with my PS4. Like, my pad turned off. And I thought, okay, that's happened before. It's rare, but it's happened before. Tried to turn it back on again, and the pad just was not responding. So I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I plugged it in, still wasn't responding. I had no idea what was going on. So I thought, okay, I'll hard reboot the system. Did that, pad connected, booted up Yakooza 0, press continue, and it said there's no save data. And I went, what? I've played loads of it. What the fuck? It's a game that requires you to save manually, not anywhere. You can't just press start and go quick save or whatever. You've got to go to a phone booth and save. And I will never understand that in this day and age. There's literally no excuse for it.
No, there's no excuse. It's just, but it's
made also playing it quite a horrific experience, because you don't know how long the quests are going to be.
Yeah.
You don't know like how long you'll have to spend with the game before you move on. So there's been times where I thought, okay, I'll play a bit of Rocket League or whatever, or John's texted me and said, I'm on Rocket League when you're ready. And I'm like, I don't know what to do now, because if my PS4 fucks up, then I've lost all this time played. I need to get to a point where I'm able to save. And that is just dog shit. Like, that's inexcusable. I can't stand that shit.
Have you met Goro yet? Like, have you played him?
Who is Goro? You said this last
You've
not
played as him yet, yeah? You're just playing as Kiryu.
No. Yeah, I understand there's another playable character, and he's a lot more fun to play with than the current guy. I don't dislike. Was it Kiryu?
Yeah.
Kiryu. I don't dislike him. I think he's been quite good. He certainly shines in that game buying mission.
Yeah.
Like the way he was reacting, it was like stupid superhero. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off him at the moment. And that's quite funny.
Because when I played it, I strongly began to prefer the other character, because I just thought he was more interesting, and his story I found more interesting. But as things go on with Kiryu, it gets more interesting as well.
I'm sure it will. I will keep playing it then, because I think that's a fair shout. I feel like I'm barely scratched the surface with the story. The side stuff, there's also some really fucked up weird shit in it.
Yep.
So
have you found the what's it called, the cards yet?
I found one card. I don't know what they do.
That's for the.
It's just a card with a lady on it.
Yeah, that's for the shop.
What's really strange is if I've understood this correctly, and I'm only piecing this together from stuff that I haven't been able to do yet. If you talk to, say, for example, a woman that works in a grocery store, if you talk to her enough and get their bar high enough, you can go to a cinema and watch her walking about in underwear?
That's not right, no.
What is it then?
No, that the woman in the convenience store, that's just you build up relationship with her, and then you get what do you get? I can't remember. It's just if that's just like extra mission kind of stuff, but no, it doesn't. You don't do that.
So what's the cinema where there's ladies in
No, the cinema
underwear?
is for the cards. You'll find, like, as you're playing, you'll see something shining on the floor, you pick it up, and you'll find a card. On the card, there is a picture of a girl, and then you can go to this, like, cinema place where you can then just, like, you can, like, watch the cards that you've got.
Isn't that the one that you got the achievement for?
I did,
like,
yeah, I got an
watching
achievement
loads
for
of
it.
them.
No, it wasn't an achievement, it was, Matt saw that I got. And because they give you like an achievement, which is like you dirty bastard kind of thing, and it's like you get an achievement for it, if you do it. Because the thing is, I mean, the other thing
which you got,
yeah, of course I got it.
He got it.
But I mean, the other thing is they're trying to like replicate like 1980s Japan, and that's why all that stuff's there.
Come on.
It's all like
Is it?
Of course.
Is that why all that stuff there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if I were you, I'd probably, to begin with, I'd just stick with the main story. Like, I'd just stick with that.
Is there none of that stuff in the later Yakooza games then?
Say again?
Is there none of that stuff in the sort of the earlier Yakooza games that are set in more modern times?
Well, the most recent remake of like Yakooza, like Kiwami, which was like a remake of 1, there's much less of that stuff because it's set in modern times and it's not like that so much. It's quite different. The styling is really different. I mean, that was one of the other things that I really enjoyed about the game was this kind of like 1980s kind of like style to it. Where, I mean, you haven't done the side mission with the guy with the phone yet, have you?
No,
because that's one's worth doing because it's quite funny. It's like this guy who's got like one of those like massive mobile phones, and he's trying to like show off that he can make phone calls wherever he wants, but it keeps going wrong. It's quite a good one. It's pretty funny.
The product placement in it is fucking hilarious as well. Like it's like shocking. You walk into a store and you can buy things, and it's like Mountain Dew, and then it's got like a description, refreshing taste of such as that.
Really?
Yeah, there's one you could buy Carlsberg, and then it says now enjoyed in 140 countries worldwide.
Yeah,
oh come on.
Yeah, it's also got. It's like
Really?
you go to the bars and they've got like all like different whiskies and it like tell you about each one. You know how they sell and all that kind of thing. But you see, I can't.
Is it to say that Heineken don't make Japanese RPGs, but if they did, it'd be this one.
But it's like the main thing I just really want to stress to you with this is that this is like, think of this as being like you're playing not like a Final Fantasy game, but like a JRPG basically. Like, don't expect like massive interaction and stuff like that.
Well, this is exactly what I was saying though, James. It's I think I went into it thinking it was the Japanese GTA.
Yeah, it's not.
And it could not be further from the truth.
Yeah.
It is a JRPG. You know, it's all there. The random encounters are way too frequent at the moment for me. Like, I can't turn around a corner without having people come up to me and fight me.
You can avoid them as well. Like, you can run off.
You can run away, but it feels like I should be doing that to try and level up at the moment. And having to heal up, it's like, God damn, at the moment I'm just going to takeaway places and then it's slow and that's what's killing me at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels that you could have done that whole intro bit in a quarter of the time. Again,
this is like Japanese design though for storytelling though, where it is like a really slow burn that will take quite a long time before it really like is lit. But then when it is, it's really good. Seriously.
Matt just thought you just said it's really good. It took a slow burn before it's really good. Okay. I'll give it another week of play and I'll get back to you next week.
Just focus on the main story. Seriously. And then if you feel
I'll
like
try
it,
to, but then it feels like, because again, that game quest made me laugh and felt worth doing, although the combat was shit and stuff like that. It did make me laugh, and I thought, well, if the majority of them are like that, it'll be worth doing. But if the majority of them are like the producer one, where I was just going, what the fuck is this bollocks? Like, what is this? It's just shocking.
There's one with a rock band which is pretty good. It's and there's also the guy that's like, have you met the guy walking around in his underpants yet?
No, I've not.
That's worth. That's a worth one doing. Yeah, what I really liked about it when I played it is the fact that you've got like this story, and then you can have like downtime of just like doing stupid stuff like that, and it sort of takes the edge off a bit, because some of the stuff that happens later is like pretty horrific, like in the main story, and it's it's kind of good the way that they sort of
James,
do that.
I've played dominoes. I've done some of like the entertainment stuff. I played outrun for far too long. I played Dominoes, that Dominoes game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Yep.
With all the weird symbols on it.
Yep.
I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on there. I tried to read the rules and I was like, I think I understand it, but let's give it a go. And then I was just like, nope. All of a sudden, like, people just sound like, Dojo! Okay, what does that mean? Oh, you've got all the points. That's what that means. Okay, I've lost now. Like, it made no sense to me.
But it's also like you're just supposed to sort of enjoy existing in that world. Is like, sort of immerse yourself in the world.
But it
kind
does
of thing.
enough to wind me up. That's the problem. It does enough to not let me enjoy it. From the random encounters that take you out of the feeling of being in that world, and then suddenly, like, the loading, it's not terrible, but the loads between going into a location and coming out of them is just, it feels really dated.
Mm-hmm.
And the movement doesn't feel great. I don't know, it doesn't.
I know, because it all feels like a
small.
PS3 like era game, doesn't it?
Totally, yeah, totally.
But that's because, that's when the series, was built on that, and that's why
maybe even PS2, because the actual town I'm walking around, like the city that I'm walking around, is so small. Like with these games,
no, but that opens up though. That's just.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does. But right now, from what I'm playing, it's like I can't get lost in this place because there's nowhere to fucking go. You know what I mean?
It really it gets much bigger like later on, because you go to different areas and stuff as well.
I know, but I can only talk about like the 4 or 5 hours that I've put in so far.
But you need to you need to have patience, like with this kind of game. Like you really need to have patience, otherwise.
Don't ask that, me.
Just come back in 25 hours and then
we'll see.
Tell us what you think.
All right, okay, that's what we've been playing this week. Should we get on to emails, James?
Yeah, we've got some emails. If you want to email us, it's thecomputergameshow@gmail.com. The first one is from Jim. He says, "Good evening, gents. Long-time listener of the show. I know you've been on the show numerous times. At the moment, as a stand-in." Okay, I'm going to have to start that again.
No,
this doesn't make any sense.
Keep it rolling. Right,
Looks like you nailed that.
Take 2.
Long time.
And go.
Take 3.
Long time. Stop it. Don't do that again, please.
Take 4.
Long-time listener of the show. I know you've been on the show numerous times, and at the moment, as a stand-in, John. Oh, okay, to John. But thank you for the...
Brilliant.
It didn't make any sense. But thank you for the
5.
Thank you for the dynamic you bring to the show and keeping the Millwall main one.
Oh, it's about John, this one.
Canterbury Tales, James, and me, Matt, in check. First question. Nearly a month and a half into 2018, are there any games at the moment that you think easily stand a chance of making it into the Game of the Year episode?
Not his fucking question.
Monster Hunter World seems a definite for Captain Toss, but are there any certains for the rest of you? Second question. With the already talked about delay to Red Dead 2 and the absolute success of GTA Online, have you guys any idea as to what Red Dead Online could feature? If we know Rockstar, then we can guarantee it'll be a bit with what? What? I don't know what that means.
Sorry?
Okay.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Right,
first one. Game of the Year for 2018, probably Assassin's Creed Origins.
Good joke, Matt. I don't think I've played a game released in 2018 yet. Have I?
Mine right now is Celeste, but
it's good, but it's not a Game of the Year, I don't think.
Yeah, but that's the best one I've played so far.
Yeah, but that's not the question. The question is, are there any games that you think will make it to the end?
In my list, it doesn't matter about quality, so Celeste.
James?
I can only think Red Dead, isn't there? That's one of the...
You've not played it, so...
No, but it's...
read the question.
What is this?
Well, Red Dead 1, that didn't come out this year.
It's a dead cert, isn't it? It's probably going to be on the list.
Oh, yeah, it's nailed on.
Yeah, but we can't say that until we played it.
Yeah, the only thing I've played this year from this year is Celeste, but that wouldn't be on the list. But you don't think it's going
to make it? Matt, you've played Monster Hunter. Do you see that? Because, I say you've played it. You've not played it this week, have you?
I haven't played this week, no.
Classic Matt.
I've been busy.
He will not play that game again. He won't play it again.
I've been busy.
Okay.
I will play it again because it's a very good game. It's hard to say. I think from what I played, I really enjoyed it, but it's hard to say, really. I think if John and I and others are still playing it in like a month's time, I think it'll be on the list, but we'll see. If we play it now constantly up to Sea of Thieves, then I think it's got a very good chance of making it.
As for Red Dead Online, I've got a feeling that's just going to take everything that GTA Online does and put in Red Dead. I don't think they're going to put a huge amount of effort into making it feel completely unique or giving it a completely different structure because A, they know GTA Online works, and B, it's a risk investing so much into Red Dead Online when, you know, it's a bit different kettle of fish. I can't see it being as popular as GTA Online. So, I don't
think it'll be as popular, but Red Dead is going to blow up, clearly, and they're making so much money with GTA Online. Like, I think they would do the investment into Red Dead Online to see this could be like this could and almost certainly will be another massive second revenue generator. So I can't wait to see what
I don't
do.
know if the cowboy thing has got as much appeal as the GTA.
I mean, it depends. I know when like Red Dead 1 came out and we were like, oh, the online's going to be amazing. I think we played it for a bit, didn't we? But then we stopped.
They promised a lot of things that didn't really... The stuff they were saying sounded good, and they kept it to up. But I think we had one idea of what Red Dead Online was going to be like, and it wasn't. You know, we had the idea that we were going to take over towns and come across other people and this, that, and the other, go on missions together. You could do all that stuff. It just wasn't really well done. Like, everyone was showing up on the map, and it was just like, you weren't just randomly coming across people. You would ride towards a town, see them on the map, and then get sniped out of nowhere, and it was game over.
So I'm very interested to see what the Red Dead 2 online mode will be like, the one that's like Trackmania. So I'm very, very excited to see my horses do loop-the-loops
That's a good point.
across the Wild West.
Stunts.
One of the best things about the GTA Online thing is that there are seemingly every month there's like a new theme, there's a new set of maps or new crazy mode they've got. I mean, I'm not sure how they could do that with Red Dead unless they do the sort of Undead Nightmare type thing. So for a month, now suddenly everyone's zombies, or there's certain modes which do crazy things like that. But obviously GTA lends itself to craziness. I'm not sure if that's going to work so well, or if they could even do that in Red Dead Online.
No. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, how they try and mix things up. But I've got a feeling it will be very similar.
If Red Dead 2 is not on our Game of the Year list, for sure.
We'll see. That's if it comes out this year. Know what I mean?
Okay.
Very good point.
Next one's from Adam on Stoke-on-Trent. He says, I'm currently working with some A-level students programming games, and one of their current projects is making a version of Space Invaders in Python.
It's been done.
This got me thinking about the current state of games. If we have moved from Space Invaders in 1980 on the Atari to Horizon Zero Dawn et al. On the PS4 in just 38 years, what do you perceive home video game playing will look like by 2056, both from software and hardware perspective?
I've got a feeling that we'll be playing Call of Duty and FIFA on with our glasses. Know what I mean?
Rocket League.
What was that?
Rocket League?
Yeah, no. Why did you say it like that?
I don't know. I've had 2 beers. I don't know what that is.
Why do you always have 2 beers? I don't understand.
It's been. I've got a problem actually.
We'll be playing on our glasses. You won't even need to charge them because new batteries and that they'll last for ages.
You won't have to use your hands anymore. You know, it'll just be plugged into your brain or something. I don't know.
How old are we going to be?
2056.
In 1956? 2056?
No, not in 1956, Matt, no.
I'll be negative 32. No, 56. I'll be, let's see, 17. I'll be like 70s.
Carry the 2. Yeah, I mean, I ain't going to be here, am I?
I'm not anticipating being here by then.
So you guys are definitely both be dead. It'd just be me and John doing the podcast.
Hold on, why do you think you're going to outlive me?
Because I'm moisturised.
Next question.
Also, his second question was more important: McDonald's or KFC?
Oh, here we go.
KFC,
okay,
obviously,
I've got 25 minutes on this. I mean, I love
KFC,
both
obviously,
of these.
but go
on. I love both of these. KFC gravy, mind blowing. I think the Big Daddy box meal is, it's every time that's going to be class. You know that. Chicken, that can differ, but the chips, this latest revision of chips is never. I prefer McDonald's chips. I'll be honest. But McDonald's, I love like the new ones they release every month. Although I haven't said that the Super Mac or whatever it's called, that was awful. Haven't been impressed with that at all. The Grand
terrible.
Mac have not been impressed.
Wait, go on. I love people's opinions on this. So, why is it terrible?
It's
not. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but
it's a fucking Big Mac.
No, but this is what I don't understand, because this is what I was talking about on Twitter, because I don't understand. The original Big Mac is fine. It tastes absolutely fine. For some reason, though, making it bigger makes it taste worse. And I don't know why.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know how that works.
I didn't get that, but
I didn't like it. It was horrible.
It's
basically Big Mac in the size and shape of a McTasty, which was fine. I don't know what I was expecting. It was fine. It just wasn't. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't like, oh my god, it's unbelievable.
Well, no, it's just it's a Big Mac. That's it. Like, it's a bigger Big Mac. This is what people. Well, yeah, it's weird. The answer is clearly McDonald's is better, and I'll tell you why. There's a time and a place for KFC, no doubt.
Yep. Every lunchtime.
The consistency between KFC shops, though, it's never consistent. You could go into one and have a really nice KFC. You go into another and it tastes like fucking shit.
And the gravy, sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's watery.
Yeah, sometimes it's got that thick layer of oil on the top, and that it's
love it.
There's the one in New Malden, the KFC in New Malden is absolutely shocking. Like, it's I remember once taking a bite into a chicken leg or whatever it was, and just oil pouring out, and just thinking this is just not.
When that happens, my eyes are rolling back in my head. I'm like, fucking hell,
James,
I'm in heaven.
James, you're in McDonald's. What are you ordering, son?
Probably a double cheeseburger.
Whoa, okay. I mean, I love a DC. I cannot get enough of a DC. But I mean, I always typically go for the special, whatever's on.
Yeah, but
they
never taste good.
Waste
though,
of time.
They never taste good.
Waste of time.
I always actually I haven't said that. Like, so obviously the Grand Mac and Mac Jr.'s out right now, but they've also got like a barbecue chicken burger, which is fucking amazing. I've got
no time for that. Just a Big Mac straight up for me. That's it. I don't.
Every time
that I've tried something else in there,
menu.
I've gone.
They're always. This is the thing I don't like about McDonald's, because like, apart from like the standard stuff, it always tastes bad. Like those specials, they always taste terrible.
Nah.
Okay, that's Matt's reply there.
Okay, let's move on.
I mean, let's face it, they're all shit, but whatever.
Also like milkshake. I love McDonald's milkshake. Oh, whatever. Let's get. I mean, I'm not involved.
Okay, so we've got another email from Adam. This is Adam Snuff. He says, as John asked for them, here's specific game questions. Assuming you're playing ranked, what Rocket League rank are you all at?
Right. So
Depends.
I'm probably mid-tier gold. I've never really pushed on platinum, and I sort of. Yeah, drop between mid gold to high silver. I think the highest I've been is upper gold, but I've never broken to platinum yet. But that's where I'm at.
Whatever
Matt,
the bottom one is.
You probably haven't got a rank now.
No.
Platinum probably.
No, Matt, I've seen you play, mate. You're lower bronze all day long.
No, I mean I've been silver. I mean obviously I've got on all three platforms, but I guess I'm probably bronze or unranked.
Unranked. Unranked is only for the only reason you stay unranked is if you don't play 10 games in the season. So it sounds about right for you, Matt.
Yeah. The other thing is I get to platinum, then don't play for a while, and then I'm like, oh, I'm unranked again. So.
James, I want to do a stream series where I try and drag you up to at least silver.
That would be lucky.
Or gold. I want to get you to gold.
That game. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, but I could teach it to you. You could be good at it. It's really simple. You've just got to practice.
Okay.
I could teach you all my moves, James.
Yeah.
Matt, honestly, do not even listen to Matt.
I can teach you my tactics.
Not very good at it. Yeah,
See,
Matt's tactic is...
I own it on two things, and I never play it, because I'm bad at it, and I just don't enjoy it.
You should probably get on Switch as well.
I've got it on Switch.
Because you've only just started, you haven't put the time in. If you'd love it, James, honestly. If you got the hang of it, you'd love it. Matt is like... watching a 5-year-old play football, where they just chase after the ball all the time.
That's not true. I stand back. I come back.
You chase the ball 100% of the time. It's infuriating. There's me and John trying to set up.
So often I'm just standing back watching you and John. I'm like, I'm not there serving.
The best is when you're in the corner and you're going, right, I'm going to sling it in. You go to sling it in, you put the ball in, and then you see Matt just driving behind you. Like, just following you. You're like, Matt, what are you doing there, mate?
You don't do what you need to do. Anyway, you should play James Very good.
His second bonus question was, what do you drive in real life?
Oh God, I've got a Peugeot 3008.
Sexy.
Family man. Dad. Pure
I
dad.
have a Honda Jazz, which I absolutely hate.
God.
It's the
I'll
worst
be honest
car.
with you. I don't want to slag you off, right? And if you've got a Honda Jazz, sorry about this. But when we were looking for a car after Joe smashed up my C-Max, she was going, I want to get a Honda Jazz. And I said, that I turned into Alan Partridge. I said, I am not driving a Honda Jazz. Why not? I'm not driving a Honda Jazz. I'm not doing it. You can get, but my friend's got one and it's really nice. Joe, not driving a Honda Jazz. I'm not turning up at work in a fucking Jazz. Not happening.
They are terrible cars. It's the worst car I've ever owned. Like, seriously.
Why is that?
I stall it constantly. It's just, which I never have done with cars before, but it has no, like, pulling away power, like, whatsoever. It's just, it just handles terribly. I just hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Becomes a long, drawn-out affair.
It is a long, drawn-out affair trying to overtake National Express coaches. It's,
On the motorway, yeah. Good, Matt.
Polo GT. I love driving it. It's amazing. I used to have Golf, and I wanted to get another Golf or a bigger car, but Jill said, now we're getting a smaller one and whatever. So we've got Polo GT, but it was such fun to drive.
I will say,
that thing around.
because I've had a Polo and I loved it, right? What I will say though, Matt, is I don't know how you can have a child and have that car. Like, I mean, how do you fit things in the car and stuff?
What do you mean? It's fine for Elle and her seat. What else do you need?
Stuff for the boot.
Like what?
I don't like when you turn up at Butlins and you have to remove one of the suitcases off of Elodie's head.
I mean, it is quite tightly packed when we go away now. But I mean, I wanted a larger car, but Jill's like, no.
My car boot is constantly full of fucking buggies, bikes.
Yeah, but we don't take the buggy anymore. We haven't used the buggy in ages.
Really?
Get with the program, mate. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I don't even know how you do that. How he gets wheeled about everywhere.
Because I can't bother to carry Elodie and the buggy, so I rather dump the buggy. She's old enough to walk now. She's 4 for fuck's sake.
4 years old and you're screaming at her on the high street. No, you have to walk because we can't get the buggy in our fucking car.
Get a job, you lazy.
Next question.
Yeah, new buggy, baby.
Okay, we've got tweets. If you want to tweet us, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter.
James, are you not going to say the catchphrase?
No. Vault42.
No, go on.
I don't even know what the catchphrase is.
The catchphrase is, in the beginning,
it was tweets time.
Okay. At Vault42 Overseer says, after listening to David Turner's feature on Kane and Rince, any chance of a joint podcast featuring both sets of regular presenters, although hopefully not lasting 12 hours? No.
Oh, God, absolutely not.
No.
No, it's not happening.
No. Next question.
Okay, Andre Gershwin says, what is more important for a games console? A game that sells well, but is not really getting news or media attention, or a game that reviews well, gets loads of media coverage, but does not sell much? For example, Kirby Star Allies seems to be a quiet kind of game, but it is almost guaranteed to sell more than Metroid Prime 4, since Kirby has always sold better than Metroid, even if Metroid gets more attention than from the game media.
I don't really understand this. I can't think of a good example. I don't think that's a good example because neither of them are getting massive media attention, are they?
Kirby will, in the sense that
really?
there'll be all those adverts on TV for it, won't there, on kids' TV, which they probably won't be for Metroid.
That's advertising. That's marketing. That's different from media attention.
Yeah.
They're not going to be talking about that on, Good Morning Britain or whatever.
They're not going to talk about
games
Metroid,
which
are they, either?
Critically acclaimed and they don't sell well. I mean, it depends who you are. I mean, if you're like a content manufacturer, you obviously want sales, but the gamers will much prefer the better game because we don't care about how much it sells.
The games that seem to get most media attention are multi-format, right? You think about, Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto
but in games like Last of Us.
Thieves. Yeah, but that, again, outside of games media, has that had much publicity? Other than marketing?
It's hard to say.
What's more... right, okay, so better for the format is obviously a game that may not be as good or critically acclaimed, but is wider spread and all over the place. It's better for the system, for sure. I just don't think there's very good examples of it to make a good sort of educated debate about it. The games, all the games that I can think of that are broken outside of the sort of gaming universe have been multi-format. You know,
What about Halo?
Halo? No, I suppose that's right, but that was also critically acclaimed, wasn't it?
In the beginning.
So it was both things. In the beginning. So it's like kind of both things. I haven't got the answer for you, mate. I'm afraid.
Interesting question, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
At Darren Moore says, what are each of your predictions on when Matt will finish Dark Souls, and is he doing the Artorias of the Abyss DLC? Best of luck with Analondo.
Matt, are you doing the DLC?
I mean, I don't know. It depends. I mean, I'll say unlikely, but we'll see. Actually, I think I checked my game clock and I play out 23 hours now. It feels like a lot longer. But isn't it like a 60 or 70 hour game?
No.
I think it took me about 60 hours to do.
But Analondo, like, what? I mean, is that like the halfway point, the 30% point? I mean, obviously it varies, but...
Well, I said it's the start of the second act, really.
Oh, wow, okay, so I've got, a lot to go.
No, actually, Sens is the start of the second act, isn't it? After you've run the second bell, then Sens, then... Yeah, there's still some stuff to do back, because you've not done Sif yet. You've not, and then you've got to do the Four Lord Souls, which each has its own area. And then probably the Painted World, which is an optional area, but you'd want to do it because it's a good one, isn't it, James?
It is, yeah.
I mean, each of my streams is like between an hour and a half and say 2 hours. I mean, that's another 40. I get it. I guess like 35 to 40 weeks. So, yeah, maybe. So I reckon this time next year. No. I reckon March, April, May, June. You're going to say get it on this year.
I'm going to say August. Oh yeah. I think you'll get it done this year. I'm going to say August. Or not only that, because the more you've been playing, the longer your streams have been. Like they started off, it was an hour, and then recently it's been like 3 hours.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one on, because obviously normally I do on a Sunday, but this is a Saturday, so I could stay up later. So I think it was like 3 hours. It's almost like 3 hours, I think. The one on Saturday. But I'm tempted to move it to Saturday, but it was a bit quiet, so I'll probably stick to Sunday. But yeah, I just, and also I think the more I play, I am going to want to play more than once a week. But
yeah, for sure.
So you reckon this year though?
Yeah, August, September time. James?
I reckon he'll finish it sooner. I reckon, maybe like July.
I don't know.
June,
I've got
July.
a busy summer.
I think once you start playing more than once a week, I think you'll start to want to plough through.
Yeah. So have either of you two played the DLC?
No.
No, I haven't. It's meant to be extremely hard. Like some of the it's meant to be incredible. Don't get me wrong, but it's also meant to be really hard.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've been loving the game, but we'll see.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, the people in that are watching your streams would love to see you do it. I'll say that much, because Dark Souls fans adore that DLC.
Okay. Sam Quirk says, I'm currently reviewing a game that lots of people are raving about, and I just don't get it. Do you guys have games where your opinion was so far off the accepted standard that you wonder if you've just forgotten how video games work?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that with Yakooza at the moment, because everyone loves it. Like, all the reviews about it were gushing.
See, this is why I didn't really want you to play this, because I just didn't think it's suitable for you. I just
fuck what you think, to be honest.
Because I just knew that you'd hate it. It's just
you don't know me. I don't hate it. I don't know that. I know I've got more to play, but there's so much of it that I don't like and don't understand why it's not being pulled up.
Because it involves reading, and I know you don't like that.
No, that's bollocks. I'm talking the actual combat is not fun. The save system's unforgivable. The real sort of nitty-picky stuff of going into a place and then going to the menu and deciding what to buy and then coming out and blah, blah, blah. You know, the missions seem sort of falsely bloated. Like, there's stuff where it's like... The bit I'm on at the moment where I have to go and get a beer for 3 homeless people or get different drinks for 5 homeless people. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, why is it making me go and pick up? And it's like, okay, I'll go to the shop. No, that shop has only got that, so now I have to go to another shop.
It'd be too easy if it was like the other way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that's just falsely prolonging this whole thing. It's like...
it's part of the ridiculousness. That's the whole thing.
No. You can't put that down to that. Oh, it's part of its wacky charm. It makes you do really tedious stuff. Getting you to do tedious stuff.
Like I said, but you don't have to do that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
You absolutely have to do that.
You don't. That's not part of the main...
It's part of the main quest, isn't it?
I don't think so. Not that one.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the main quest. Telling you, because there ain't nothing else it's asking me to do, and that's where that pink flashing objective thing is. So,
anyway,
fuck you, James.
In answer to your question, yes. I mean, there's loads of games that I thought were great, and I would put everyone else said they're wank. But
no, it's the other way. Is there any game where you think's total crap and everyone else is raving about?
Matt likes everything.
That's the trouble. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, if I was listening to this podcast, I'd be like, "What's the point of Matt talking? Like, have I ever said a game was totally shit?"
I mean, I listen to the podcast and think the same thing.
I listened to like One Up, right, and like a good gaming podcast, and I'm like, "Oh wow, I can't wait to see what Sean Elliott thinks, or these people think, or Shane Bettenhausen," because they were like, this is either really good or really shit. What's the point listening to me when I'm like, yeah, it's really good, I'm going to hopefully play a bit more next week, and then not.
Is this you handing in your notice?
Well, actually, John's not here, and then I'm not going to be here we're going to start our own Splinter podcast.
Well, what? You're not going to be here next week?
It's called Choking Out.
You're not going to be here next week?
I'll talk about it off air.
Fucking hell, Matt.
No, I'm joking. Good. But yeah, I'm not sure where I was going at that point.
James?
I basically love everything.
I don't know. Maybe, probably, most recently Xenoblade Chronicles 2, probably, which I'm not playing.
Oh god, you've avoided talking about that. Have you sold it?
I'm not playing that game anymore. It's...
Why are you not playing that game
What's
anymore?
it done to you?
That game has been sold. It's I'm not going to be playing that game anymore. So,
People were getting very angry about your opinion on that game last week.
Yes, I know.
Why is that? What happened?
I just realised after playing it for about 5 or 6 hours that I was never going to like it, and so I decided to cut my losses. And
what was bad about it? What didn't you like about it?
What's bad is that it wasn't FIFA 18.
Go on.
See, I like, as we've already discussed extensively on here, I like JRPGs, but there are certain types of JRPGs that I don't like, and this is one of them. It's, just the whole...
Right, no, explain what didn't you like about it. Why don't you like it?
I don't like it because I don't like that whole kind of it's a group of teenagers going to save the world kind of thing. And I know it's probably not all about that, but I didn't like the character designs, I didn't like the dialogue, I just didn't find it that interesting, was the problem.
Okay, it's still
there's
not...
your answer,
okay,
Ben.
go on.
Okay.
Didn't like it. That's it. I wish your reviews read like that. I didn't like it. 4 out of 10. But why? I just didn't like it.
I don't like these sort of games
like
where
it.
a man shoots a man.
I also didn't like the game mechanics. I hated the battle system. I thought it was not very fun at all.
What was wrong about the battle system, James?
It was overly complicated, and battles also were just a confusing mess. I don't want to get into this because I'm going to get a lot of abuse, so I just didn't like it.
That's why I keep asking you to go into it, because I know it's going to fuck people off.
So anyway,
James, what do you think about the characters in that game? Are they shallow?
They're pretty shallow.
Would you say they were shallow? They're shallow, are they?
They're pretty much the worst.
What do you think of the artwork?
Oh, the artwork's awful, Matt. Really,
the artwork's awful. Okay.
What about the writing?
It's particularly bad.
What's the sound design like?
Did you like the music?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving on now.
What about the environmental storytelling?
JRPG, Matt. None of that. Anyway, at Athene, how many times has Farley had a wank while playing Bayonetta? Well, see, funny you say that, because I was thinking about buying it again on the Switch.
Because I'm wanking right now.
No, because I was thinking about buying it on the Switch, but then I just realised there's no point in me buying it, because I've already played both of them on the Wii U before and absolutely love them, but you
were thinking taking it into the toilet.
Yeah, obviously, it was possible.
I was thinking about buying Bayonetta, and I thought, well, there's Pornhub, so what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Matt, you've got no intention of playing this, have you? Because you're mad.
I have. It's not on my radar at all, and I haven't even looked into what it is really.
Oh, you're insane! It's one of the best games of the last generation.
But I don't know. I mean, no, I've got no time for it at the moment.
It's a good game. It is a good game. I give it that.
How's Monster Hunter going, Matt? How many more hours have you put into that?
We've already discussed this, James. Keep up.
How is Monster Hunter going?
haven't played it this week. Are you going to out in the woods again, James?
Have you traded it in yet, Matt? Is it how soon until it goes on eBay?
I'm more of a CEX man myself.
It is classic Matt, though, isn't it? I'm really, really enjoying this, and then he just stops playing it.
I am enjoying it, and I'm going to keep playing it. So
I still think my favourite was Skyrim, when he said, "This is it now. This is the only game I'm playing."
That was such a massive
regret.
He
bought the £15 guide, and then never played it after a week.
Yeah, but what a good week it was.
Okay, next one's from Oodles. He says, with Matt Murray enjoying Monster Hunter, I don't know why he said that, and loving Dark Souls, what games will the rest of you take a cheeky punt on? I can see JJ Farley tackling the Silent Hill games. I've already played them, so no.
I've been thinking about this today. This is weird that this question's come up.
David Turner's playing the shit out of Total Warhammer, and John Denton taking a swing at Hasful Boyfriend.
Okay. That was worth cutting me off for.
Yep.
I'm genuinely thinking about trying God of War, because I was thinking, when everyone was going crazy, a new God of War game, I was thinking, why is everyone going nuts for this? And then I sort of just remember, well, actually, I've not played a God of War game. I mean, I played one very, very briefly on the PS3, I think it was. But no, I mean, I should give that a go, because people love that series.
Not as much as they love Bayonetta 2. You should play that instead. It's brilliant.
I mean, I played some of it. It's fun, but I'm thinking maybe I should give God of War a go.
Maybe I don't know stream it.
I could stream it, I guess, but I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. And I don't know why. I think the reason why I never got into God of War is because when did it start? It was PS2 game, wasn't it?
It was PS2, yeah.
Which I don't really... Maybe when it came out, I was more interested in Xbox at that time, so I didn't really play it. But I didn't play any of the PS3 stuff, obviously, because I hated the PS3. Like, I hated that console. It was such a fucking slog to use that... I was pure 360 lid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Blu-rays, mate.
Yeah, but controllers, Matt.
Yeah, but online. Oh yeah, okay, you got me
there. I'll never forget when Matt finally bought a 360. He was well late to the party with that one, and then turned around and went, "Oh, this is why everyone's saying this is brilliant."
But I used to like saying, I'm not going to play retro console.
What was it? What was your phrase that you kept saying? Welcome to the future or something? The PS3.
This is the third place. I think he was saying it's true next gen. Was the thing?
That was playing on your retro 360 bollocks. I'm over here rocking a Blu-ray. What have you done? HD DVD.
While we're all playing Gears of War online, he's sitting there playing Resistance, Fall of Man.
Yeah, I'm playing with the visualizer with my CD in.
Go on, next question.
Okay, this is the last one, which is from Scientologist.
Okay, last one now.
He says, which Xenoblade 2 character is Farley's waifu? Well, see previous answer to question, because that's not going to happen.
Was there no female character that you can pick out?
None of them were interesting enough.
That's brilliant. That's why he doesn't like it. That's why he doesn't like it. There wasn't a character that he fancied. Yeah. That's what it was.
Therefore, pointless.
Yep, absolutely pointless.
Well, this game, I've played this game for 3 hours now and I've not had a boner. So this is going directly back to the shop.
I've seen no tits. It's pointless.
It's completely pointless. Let me put Yakooza on again. What's that? I found another card. Ooh, off to the cinema for me.
Oh, naughty boy.
You're sick.
Please come back next week, John.
Why? What's John going to do? He'd be joining in.
No, because then it just, no, he doesn't join in as much as you two do with all this, like, juvenile rubbish, like, that you do each time.
Oh, Juvenile.
Give him 2 episodes, he'll be there.
Juvenile. We just got called Juvenile by James.
Yeah, the silly voices, and the whole thing.
Poo-poo head.
Matt, what are people doing on social media?
You've got to follow us on Twitter. I mean, at least half the show's on Twitter now. I would say
it's really gone downhill, our Twitter stuff. I think I'm going to say it's your fault, Dave. I mean, I have not been memeing like I was, when you started ruining memes for everyone, basically. Go on.
It's a shame. I had loads, ready to go, but I'm just
Have you changed James's header yet on our Twitter page?
James's header?
Yeah, James put a header, like a meme on the...
No, I found it funny.
It was really funny. It was like a proper, like James being a rebel for once. He texted me and said, David, I've done something really funny to our Twitter page.
That is not what I said. That is not what I said at all.
That is essentially what you said.
It's not at all.
I thought, he's put a meme up there. Well done, James. Yes. I'm wondering how long it'll take for Matt to realise. And then that night we recorded a podcast and he was like, Matt, I think you might want to have a look at our Twitter page.
Wasn't like that at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, I found that funny, but also now I think people looking at it think, God, these guys are fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, you should definitely change it.
Yeah, I'm going to change it tonight. Anyway, we're at Computer Game Pod on Twitter. Follow us, get involved. I don't know what I said, but I'm also streaming every Sunday night on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/theComputerGameShow or just follow us or find us on there. Hopefully someone else do some streams, not just me, because people are probably getting quite bored of my shit. And finally, the Discord. Like I mention this every week, we've got like an amazing bunch of people there. Just to go to our Twitter account. The pinned tweet at the top is a link to it. There's no other easy way, sadly, but I guess I should just create like a bit.ly link. In fact, no, forget it. So just find a tweet and then go to our Discord. Loads of people chatting. It's brilliant. And, of course, also just any Apple reviews. If you haven't left an Apple podcast review in the past, please think about doing that because it really helps us get up the charts.
We've had a few recently. They've been very complimentary.
I guess the last thing is we're doing a live show on the 15th of April, Sunday, 15th of April, 4:30. Go to egx.net/res and get tickets. It's like $17.50, I think, for like the day ticket on Sunday. We do like an hour and a half show in the evening.
Think about that. £17.50 to see some of the best podcasters in the UK do their thing. And you also get to play a couple of games. You get to turn up and play a couple of games that aren't even out yet. So, you know what I mean? Bargain, if anything.
You get to play some indie games no one cares about, but then see us.
Whoa. We've got to talk to these people soon. So let's try and befriend them a little bit. Thanks for living it. John will be back next week, I'm sure. Matt, we still don't know if he's coming back, if that was a genuine joke or not. If it was a joke, he needs to work on his delivery. That's all I'm saying. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It was alright, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's good. Good fun.